And here we go, everybody. Episode 9, Justin in the Jungle. A lot of questions this week. What did last week's win really mean? Can the Bengals go on their first win streak of the season? How's the calf? A lot of that. We got a lot of questions. And we got a fun episode. I dive into those with a Seahawks fan who happens to be one of my best friends. Super funny comedian, just super nice guy, as you guys will see. Adam Cozens joins Justin in the Jungle to break down the Bengals Seahawks match coming up. So we chatted for about a half hour. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that started now. And we're going to break down this week's episode. Sit back and enjoy. And we are here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the person we know, the person we love, America's comedian, Mr. Adam Cozens.
Hey, Justin. Thank you
Hi,
so much
Adam.
for having me today, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I'll admit, this is we've talked about this. It's not the most enjoyable game for me. Like, we both have a soft spot for the other team. Like, I legitimately like the Seahawks, and I thought ever since Russ has been gone, I have really enjoyed their success and have really enjoyed the downfall of once great quarterback Russell Wilson.
So now, yes, thank you. I agree. Mostly on the shared success. I've enjoyed watching the Bengals between you and another friend of mine, who are Cincinnati guys. It's just been it's like how could you like, now I'm sure they have haters because they've been good for a few years, but like as of a few years ago. Unless you like talk about like Vontez Burfict or people who just like they decided we don't like these guys, they're a scrappy Midwest team with no budget, owners who won't buy them like a practice field. I don't know how anyone could dislike them. Like, they don't need to be your favorite team, I'm sure, but like I just don't know how just Johnny Q, NFC West could have a beef with the Bengals, So no, and it's been really fun. And Burrow is just so much fun to watch. Your wide receiver group is so much fun. It's just been an amazing team to watch. And as the rest of the country, we're getting pretty sick of the Chiefs. The Bills have been the anointed team for like the last like 3 or 4 years on the next team up. And it was so much fun to watch Cincinnati, 2.5 years ago, just steamroll those playoffs, like going from the Raiders to the number 1 ranked Tennessee, going into Kansas City. It's just like they're like, oh, this is the real Super Bowl, Kansas City and Buffalo, and then the next week Cincinnati just stomped them out. It was so much fun. It's been a lot of fun getting to cheer for them, especially on a time when the Seahawks are kind of in like a middling down period. It was so beneficial to have a team to cheer for who I just liked. How can you not like these guys?
Right. I'm blushing for the Bengals after that.
And I'm sure I got some of that timeline wrong. Forgive me, Super Bengal fans, but it's the Russell thing. I was you and I have texted about him a lot. I was a big fan of Russell's when he was in Seattle. The breakup didn't go well. I was devastated when he left, admittedly. Like, I don't want to do revisionist history where it's like, I'm so glad he's gone. I was super sad. He was like, he was he was QB1 for this last 10, 11 years of the best football I've seen as a long-term Seattle fan. Like, we made the Super Bowl back in 2005 with Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander and that whole crew. Right. But like, sustained year after year success, it was Russell Wilson. He was like the anchor of that team, or that's debatable, but like he was the front man for it. So to lose that identity was really hard at first. And we had a pretty good idea what we had with Geno because last year Russell was hurt for a good chunk of time, half the season roughly, and Geno was out there and he wasn't really wowing us. So the idea of like we're moving from Russ to Geno, it's like, oh, this is. I know we got Drew Backlock in the trade, or Drew Lock back, but I don't know if that's the answer either. So Geno, his ascent, paired with Russell having a tough year, and I've told you about this. part of it that first year was we wanted to win the breakup. That was number one.
Yes.
Like, when you break up, you want to be the one doing better. We got that on week 1. We got that win over him. The rest of the season was going to be cake. We expected to go 3-14 the rest of the way. We ended up making the playoffs. That was huge. And then they had such a bad year. And it was wild because we had their draft pick. We had their number 1 pick in the trade for Russ. So we were all rooting against them because we wanted them to have a bad last year. And we end up getting the number 5 pick overall, which is Devin Witherspoon, who, he missed the first week of the season, but now it's looking like he has a chance to be in the top, the top group for Rookie of the Year contention. That's admittedly just after one butt kicking of the Giants, and who knows how good they really are. But it's just kind of fun. Like it's still fun. We don't have any benefit right now to them losing. Seahawks get nothing from it. It's just kind of a karma thing a little bit of Russ wasn't the problem. We're going to bring Sean Payton. Now we're going to show everybody. It's like, I think he's kind of washed. I like him. We'll celebrate him. He'll be in our circle of honor in 15 years. We'll put his name in the rafters. We'll all belatedly celebrate and cheer him again. But right now it's fun watching him lose, man.
It's crazy. And it's funny because the only thing I can compare this to, and it's not even as bad, but would be when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos. But he still won a Super Bowl there. Yeah. So it's like you can't really say that Peyton Manning fell off, but he fell off into a team with an amazing defense that got him into the Super Bowl.
Have you ever had in Cincinnati? Have you ever had a star player who has left and gone on to do bigger and better things?
Yes.
Have you? Okay. Because I always think of your players, I guess Chad Johnson. But I was thinking of most of your star players tend to stay in Cincinnati. For all the beef that people, or for all the grief is small market, no money, whatever. A lot of your stars have stuck around the area.
Well, the player that we had that comes to mind right away is Corey Dillon.
Oh, okay.
He left us and then went to New England
and he's a Seattle guy. He went to Rainier Beach High School.
Did he? There you go. Full circle. This is why I cannot cheer against you.
That's the same school as Nate Robinson. From New York Knick fame, the tiny guy who could jump really well.
That can't box.
What's that?
That can't box.
Can't box. No boxing. Yeah, they have a lot of good players come out of that school.
But yeah, the one thing people get confused about is they look at the Browns quarterback history and they put that on the Bengals. They forget that everyone's like, oh, quarterback for the Bengals. We take care of our quarterbacks. We have had in the past, 20 years, it's just been Palmer, Dalton, and then Burrow. We don't we are very faithful to our quarterbacks. But as you mentioned coming into the episode, we have a spending problem. And this time we now have too much talent. We have too much talent for our money. So we're going to be having some players walk after this year. My big fear is T. Higgins is leaving. And I don't know. Is that you?
I was really sad to see Jesse Bates leave in the offseason. I like Jesse. And it's true. That is a problem with success, is when you're kind of bottom, not bottom of the barrel or whatever, but when you're just kind of playing conference games or your local fantasy people. If you're doing really great, you'll get noticed. But once you get on that national platform and everyone's watching you, and they're watching you in, January, and they're watching you on primetime games, it's your star level just gets, it just gets amplified so much. And it's really hard to keep a super strong team together, especially a team like yours that overperformed, admittedly, 2.5 years ago. And so everyone was on really good deals, and then all of their deals looks like they're coming in roughly the same time.
Yeah, I've noticed. So, good talk, but let's get into it, Adam Cozens. Let's talk about Sunday.
Are we in week 5 or week 6?
I believe we're week 6.
Hold
on, Adam.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
Yeah. Hey.
The air blower's right outside my window.
Okay. All right, we are back. Here we go. Adam has first world problems going on, and people cleaning his yard are disrupting his podcast.
I also want to apologize to all of the hardcore Seattle high school football listeners out there. Corey Dillon went to Franklin High School. I don't know why I said Rainier Beach High School. He was a Franklin Quaker, the Earthquakes.
There you go. So, all right, Adam. Sunday, big game. Hold on.
Do you want to just hold till they're gone?
Yeah, okay. Hold on. And we're resuming. We are back with it. So, yeah, let's talk about this, Adam. Sunday, big ball game.
10 a.m. Pacific, a 10 a.m. game, Justin.
10 a.m. I will be there. I will be drinking coffee all day because by that time I will have, I think, 16 days into sober October. So
are you going back to Cincinnati for the game?
No. I just go to this bar called Thunderbird in Santa Monica every Sunday and watch games there.
I thought about going to this game when the schedule came out last year. Because, and you and I talked about it a little bit, you're like, oh, I can help you get tickets or whatever. And because it just, it seemed like a dream matchup. It seemed like, Joe and the Bengals have been cheering for the last couple of years versus, my beloved Seahawks. And, I'm really glad I didn't, just for a few personal life reasons, but because I would have been like, well, I guess I'm going now. Sorry, family. I just want to watch it on TV. NFL games, it's a different experience live than it is at the stadium.
Absolutely.
And the stadium is great, but this is a game I just kind of really want to just sit and watch. I just want to take it in.
Yeah. It is, like I told you, a huge, huge game for the Bengals. Our schedule doesn't get any easier after this bye. Even the Texans who we have coming up, because it goes San Francisco, Buffalo, Texans, and then Ravens again. So
Texans looked like a W at the beginning of the season, but they're playing pretty good.
No. And so going 3-3 into bye or going 2-4 into the bye could be the season, I think. So
I'm cheering for Seattle, but this is a good opportunity, I think, for Cincinnati. Seattle, and this is not a slam, this is not a slight to Cincinnati. Seattle tends to overperform against really good teams and underperform against kind of middle or lower teams, which going into the year, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, Seattle has a good chance to beat Cincinnati because they're a really good team. And so it'll be a fight. We'll play up to our potential. But to kick off the year against the Rams, I mean, they're better than we thought they were going to be, but they're not that good. And they blew us out. We have a tendency to take our foot off the gas or look ahead to some future matchups that we have coming on. And, the week after I think we have San Francisco on Thursday. And we're just, I don't know, I could see us, looking at your schedule, looking at your injuries and looking a little bit past you all. And that could cause us to get into some trouble. Not to mention you guys have a lot of talent. Some people are hurt, but you're still generally the core of a Super Bowl team.
Yeah. I have been very on edge about this game because I see both ways happening. I can see the Bengals, I mean, just the way we've been playing this year. And something that scares me is that Burrow might not be completely healthy, but after last week, he had a confidence builder. And I do get worried that he's going to try and do more on that calf than he should try to do. And I think that can. I'm just Joe Schmo on the couch. Hopefully the coaches are already on that. He keeps saying that he's going to be that this is the best he's ever felt this season. He's the closest to 100% that he's ever been. He said that after the Titans game where he got sacked 8 times, I think. It was something insane. So I was like, he is not really feeling the way he says he is. But then last week, the best play, one of my favorite plays was when he actually scrambled and got sacked and got right back up. I was like, oh, maybe he is he looked like last year's Joe Burrow. So I was excited about that. So I'm hoping that, it's onward with him from that game, but we'll see. Seattle, I mean, you guys are 3-1. That's you guys are doing something right. So,
but again, yeah, it's 3-1. I think if we played it over again, we could beat the Rams. I don't think we were prepared. I think we were overlooking them just to start the year, and they kicked our butts. We did beat the Lions in overtime, and they're a really good team.
the
But
Lions are a really good team.
yeah, so that was a big win for us. The Giants is the interesting one, and that's the one I'm trying not to get too overconfident about because you're just talking about Joe taking 8 sacks. We sacked Daniel Jones 11 times.
I saw that.
But I also wouldn't say it's the most dynamic defensive line we've ever had. It's not Legion of Boom. It's, it's kind of scrappy, some younger picks, a few, deeper roster guys. And they had a good game against the Giants. I don't know if I'm going to put that up and say, this is the team that we are now, and we're going to sack Joe Burrow 11 times. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll get to him once or twice. We'll be a little creative, a little crafty. We'll see if Jamal Adams is healthy. Maybe he'll come around the side. Like 2 of those sacks came from Devin Witherspoon. So I don't know if we'll be able to like free him up like we did against the Giants, but it's got potential. There's potential for, if we can get to him like we did against New York, there's potential for Joe to have a rough day. I just don't think the pressure that we're going to be able to bring against Cincinnati is going to be comparable to that against the Giants.
Right. So here's the thing. Burrow yesterday, I like to go watch press conferences. He even talked about your guys' defensive line. He said that you guys are fast. You play together as a team. And I think he said the word happy. He's like, they just always seem happy out there. So I was like, I don't know how that goes in a scouting report, but happy showed up on your guys's. And I mean, that's been our Achilles heel all years. All 3 years has been our offensive line. Like, it was the year we went to the Super Bowl when we were struggling. I thought we had another Andrew Luck situation. I was like, we're going to just sack this guy into retirement. Like he's done. But I mean,
he's so tough.
And
that's, right now that's maybe to his detriment because he's playing when he maybe shouldn't be playing. But he also knows he's got a great team around him. He doesn't want to take a year off right now. So credit to Joe for toughing it out. I just, like you and I have talked a little bit offline that there may need to be a look at a realistic look and be like, this season's probably not for us. And you need to sit down for the rest of the season. Who's your backup currently?
Jake Browning, your boy.
Oh yeah. University of Washington. Yeah. He was a Georgia kid, then he came to UW. Love Jake Browning.
And I'll be honest,
he can get you a win or two.
I don't think our record is that much different than it is now if we had him. I think our defense won us that game against the Rams. Like our defense was playing lights out against the Rams. And I think Jake Browning, honestly, and I'm just kicking a dead horse. Anyone who has listened, I've been huge on the sit Burrow. Like, let's just get him healthy, and then when he's healthy, let's play. Let's see where we're at when he's healthy, record wise, and see, is it worth it? Is there a chance? But I realized last week and the week before, I was like, they're not sitting him. Like, there's no reason for me to even say this anymore. So now I'm kind of on the, okay, if he's going to play, like, I felt for a while we had a very limited playbook because he's doing a lot of check downs. He can't really extend plays. He can't really scramble in the pocket. But now he's saying he can, and I'm just like, well, now I just hope for the best because he's that guy. He's the competitive, he's stubborn. It seems like, I don't know if it's ego or stubbornness, but he should have sat. He should have sat like the first 3 weeks at least. And even up until now, like if we would have sat him getting to the bye week at 2-4, 3-3, we're still rolling. And then with a completely healthy Burrow, he's not going to go. Even if I get my wish in this and we win this game, and then we come back again. That 1 week bye is not going to bring him up to 100%.
Sure.
I have a feeling he doesn't see 100% this season.
So, we only see the social media Joe Burrow where he's got like the diamonds on and the cigar and the most amazing clothes you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I'm falling in love with this guy every time I see him. And we only see that side of him. But, I hear him in press conferences and I hear him talk and I read interviews with him. He seems like a good person. Like he seems like a morally sound, wants to do right by the fans, wants to do right by the team kind of guy. Right. Is there, and I'm just based on having signed the contract that he did, I feel like I signed this, I need to now do my job and play aspect to it. He doesn't want to sit because he saw the headlines. He's like, oh, the richest player in NFL history. And then like in week 1, he kind of throws a dud, which, he's hurt, but I feel like he just can't, he's morally, it's like, I signed this, I got to do my job.
And that's what, that's where I've been like, that's why we have to sit him. Like we're invested in this guy. Like if he's not healthy, it's like, I mean, obviously different comparison, but you just spend all this money on a brand new car. If it's not working completely perfect, you're going to take it to the shop. You're going to get it repaired to be what you paid for. Like that's what was scaring me. I felt like there for a while, the Bengals were playing more for court of public opinion than they were for the future of the franchise. Like they didn't want to see people saying like, oh, you guys paid this much for a quarterback that you're sitting. Typical Bengals. It's like, the most Cincinnati thing I've ever seen was for some reason he's still in the game when they're down 24-6 in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left against the Titans. I'm like, get Jake Browning in there right now. Jake Browning played with the first team all training camp. Yeah, because Burrow was hurt. Like
any real-time reps that Joe's going to get out there isn't worth the potential for a season ending or worse injury. Like there's no value to him being out there at that time.
And this is a little related to the game. He does have that little pettiness to him. And your boy DK,
what'd he say?
Said Devin Witherspoon will get the best of Jamar Chase.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
It just came out this morning. I was laying in bed this morning looking at headlines, and I'm like,
that's a lot of pressure to put on. Come on, DK. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure. Devin, this is his 4th NFL game. He sat out weeks 1. I think he sat out week 2 also, or just played minimally. Great kid, played college at Illinois, so it wasn't an SEC school, it wasn't even a Pac-12 school. He's a good kid, he's a great athlete. That's a big boy. He's small. Devin, he's like 5'7", 5'8", just like, I wouldn't want to put him up against Chase. That's going to be tough. I think they'll each have a fair share of plays. I don't think we're going to walk out of the game saying, oh, either of them is clearly the better. Jamar will have a fine game. Devin will have a fine game, but it's not going to be a shutdown in either direction, in my opinion.
But I saw that and I was like, thank you. Because those are the things that Burrow loves. Like anytime, and he'll just act like it doesn't really matter, but then he gets out on the field and that's just the kind of player he is.
Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have done that. I'm not I'm a trash talker to an extent, but I don't trash talk on behalf of other people.
And individually, call one person out. And Jamar Chase is, I mean, you should say like Tyler Boyd. Like if he goes against Tyler Boyd, but
I like Tyler Boyd. But
I was about to say Tyler Boyd.
I think I've got him on a couple of my fantasy teams. He's not
I played him last week, and then we had California's own Trenton Irwin decided to play some good football last week.
Trenton Irwin.
Tyler Boyd didn't really get anywhere.
No, he did not. What are some other matchups that you're interested in this game? We've got the D. So right now we got the D line versus Burrow, because seeing if it was a fluke that the Seahawks were able to go into MetLife and get to Daniel Jones 11 times, Will that be replicable against the Bengals? I don't think so. I think they will hit him. I'm calling 4.5 sacks for Seattle on Sunday.
I like it. I think that's right around where, sadly, that's right around where I hope it stays. Like, I think Arizona got to him, 3 times? And I was like, okay, well, I can live with that. So, I don't know. Now, I might be mispronouncing his name.
Hushmanzada.
No, that's my goat, Adam.
Seahawks legend.
No, yeah, I forgot it. He did. You got that was what that hurt me, seeing Hushmanzada in a Seattle jersey. But I didn't wish him ill will or anything.
It has
But
to
I'm
happen
talking
sometimes.
about Boy Maffey. Boy
Maffey. I think so. I've never said it out loud. I read it as
Okay.
Boy Maffey.
He's been showing up on all of the scouting reports, like that he could be the difference maker for that defense in this game, is what they're saying.
Again, he was one of our Russell Wilson returns. Like he was I think a 2nd round pick that we got in last year's draft from the Broncos, along with Witherspoon, along with a few other players. And he's just a 2nd year player. Had a really great game against the Giants. Just quick and hungry. So, and he now has a taste for blood after taking out Daniel Jones so many times.
Yeah,
he has that taste in his mouth. I'd keep an eye out for Boy Maffey.
Yeah, he showed up on our I know Burrow was talking about him and some other people. And one last person who I will say will be the Bengals defensive difference maker is Trey Hendrickson, who's I don't know if you know this, 4th in the NFL since week 1 of 2020 in sacks. And they said, I don't know, I haven't watched a lot of Seahawks ball, but they said the offensive line has been a little suspect at times.
We're a bit injured.
Yeah.
We had two of our tackles were out, I think, and then we have 2 other guys got injured on that Monday night game against the Giants. It was a Monday night game, so 6 days plus we had a bye week behind it, so we've had 13 days of rest. I haven't checked the current injury report this morning. Hopefully we get at least 1 or 2 of those guys back, because it was just like duct tape and shoestrings against, and thankfully we didn't have a big problem against the Giants with that. But Geno, he's not a young man. Like, he can take a hit, but he's not going to be able to be like Russell Wilson 2015 out there. He needs some time. He needs he's a methodical guy. He likes to sit back there, look around for, and he can run if he needs to, but it's not his first instinct. So if you have a good pass rush, you'll get to Geno a few times.
All right. And then here it is, Adam, as we close this episode out. Vegas has Bengals 3-point favorites, which is pretty much what you get if it's even and it's at your home.
And you have a good home stadium too. Like, I feel like some of that stuff these days doesn't really matter that much. But Cincinnati, that's a unique environment to go into. Jungle.
Yeah, yes. We showed up. And we're very I would say we're ride or die, but we're definitely, since 2021, have been, that stadium has helped us now.
Do we know if this is a home and away series? Like, are we playing Cincy in Seattle next year?
I'm not quite sure. If we are, we'll get our tickets tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
But yeah,
get some press passes off this show.
There you go. So what do you think, Adam?
I'm a homer. I'm definitely a homer in this one.
For sure.
I don't think either team's going to put up bananas numbers. Like, I think the over-under's got to be capped at around 60 for this. Let me do some quick math. I could see touchdown Seattle, kick
45.
10, 17, another 20. I'm going to say Seattle 27, 21 Seattle.
So you're going over 45. That's the...
Oh, is that the official line? Is 45?
Yeah.
Okay. 21-20. I'm moving it up a little bit. 21-24 Seattle, because I think you're going to get a random field goal in there as well.
Yeah, I do.
Over the 45.
I do see McPherson having a busy game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to go 24-17.
Ooh. Which way?
I mean, of course, the Bengals. I see we'll see. T. Higgins looks like he's good to go. He's full practice today, so we'll see if he plays. But yeah.
All right. I'm excited. This is good. This is the first game I've every game it's like, all right, Sunday, Seahawks time. But this is the first game I'm really excited about watching this one.
Same here.
Beginning to end, not just because the Seahawks are on, but I want to watch the Bengals play too, and I want to watch the defense battle. The game against the Giants got me excited about the Seahawks. Like back in the old days, that was what was so fun about those mid-teen Seahawks teams, 2013, 14, 15. It was fun when you had Lynch and Lockett and Doug Baldwin and Russell Wilson on offense. But then if we didn't have the ball, you had the Legion of Boom out there. It was so much fun to watch Sherman and Earl and Cam. So no matter what, the whole game was fun, either no matter who had the ball. And then the last couple of years, it was like, all right, it's half the game's fun.
Yeah.
And now hopefully we can get back to a stage where it's like, anything can happen just again.
Something we talked about right before we wrap it up. I did laugh about Marshawn Lynch has gone on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay, and he was talking about the Super Bowl when after the brutal interception, that your boy Russ comes up to him, we'll get him next time. It's like, what are you talking about? He's so cringe.
And you know what? When he was in Seattle, I was like, that's cool, man. I'm a man. I'm a born again. I'm a man of faith. I was just feeding into all of it. I'm like, that's cool, man. Be corny. You don't need to be like everybody else, Russ. You be yourself. Be a little silly. Go to spend all night at the children's hospitals. You're the best, Russ. And now he's gone. I'm like, this guy's so corny. This guy's such a dork, man. Get this guy off my TV, boo. I've turned on him so hard.
So, all right, Adam Cozens, I want to thank you for coming on, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And where can people find you?
You can find me on the internet, preferably Instagram. They're all fine. None of them are doing numbers right now. But if you go over to my Instagram page, it's at Adam Cozens 27. So just my name with the 27. That's pretty much the same around the internet. If you find me on Twitter, TikTok, whatever, it's probably gonna be Adam Cozens 27.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on. And I don't even want to say good luck Sunday, but
it's gonna be fun. I'm just looking forward to the game.
Let's have a good time Sunday. We'll say that.
Yeah, it'll be the first time that if the Seahawks lose, of course I'll be bummed, but it won't be like I'll be happy for you.
I'll be happy for you, but that's it.
That's it.
All right, Adam.
See you later.